Now I would like to introduce you to the 23rd and last myth in my series. The myth is, after each sprint, a new increment is created. For example, if you have completed 8 sprints, there are 8 increments afterwards. The truth is, sprints and increments are not necessarily related, and there is only one single increment in Scrum. Before we start, please support my work by following me and giving the video a like. Thank you so much for that. We need to clarify 2 questions. Let's start with the first one. When is an increment created after all? Many believe that there's always created an increment at the end of the sprint. That's not correct. As soon as something complies with the definition of done, an increment is created in that moment. Here are 2 quotes from the Scrum Guide that support this. The first one is, however, an increment may be delivered to the stakeholders prior to the end of the sprint. The second one is, the moment a product backlog item meets the definition of done, an increment is born. Therefore, increments are not necessarily created at the end of the sprint. Then we come to the second question. How many increments are there actually? The following quote from the Scrum Guide is honestly not great because it somewhat is ambiguous, as the word increment is used in plural, but it still helps to better understand the idea behind the increments. Each increment is additive to all prior increments and thoroughly verified, ensuring that all increments work together. What does it mean exactly? Well, there's always only one increment. That means the newly written code is merged with the existing code base, so the existing increment is simply expanded with each delivery, but there is no new or separate increment created. Now that might seem like a quibbling, but it's not, because the new code is always integrated into the existing code. A consistent code base is created that also works all together. The individual modules may function separately, but it's also important that they function as an overall and integrated product. So no new increments are created. Instead, the existing increment grows. By the way, the code integration and the associated tests should also be part of the definition of done.